Alright, so hello and welcome to part 2 of Infamous, and unfortunately, Cooney will not be joining me on this part, because scheduling just didn't work. It was pretty bad, but anyway, in this part of Infamous, we will be storming Stampton Bridge. And this is actually the first part of the game we get introduced to, well, not the first part of the game we get introduced to combat, but this is where they introduce us to the more aspects of the morality system in combat. And we're about to see that in a second.
Gonna have to get past those riot cops if we want out of here. If I fry a couple
so basically you have two options. You can use the crowd as a buffer and start shooting the guys from behind the crowd and then just cause a riot. Or you can go up front and take the full brunt of the attack and just take them on. Obviously, I'm going to go up front and take the full brunt of the attack because I'm doing a good playthrough. But that means that they will be targeting you pretty heavily. Just shockwave them to death. Yeah, it's usually pretty effective. Do not let them gang up on you because they will crush you pretty badly. So in this part of the game, we get introduced to the they do a nice job of introducing you to different styles of combat. Because in the first combat encounter with the Reapers, you're kind of in a big open area. You kind of dodge, rolled around a little bit, try to like outmaneuver them in the open area. In this area, you need to use cover to the advantage because they have these heavy machine gunners. And what you need to do is, the best way to do it is try to get headshots on these guys so they just don't keep shooting at you. But you need to get around them. Those machine guns will be the bane of your existence if you do not go for them first. Always go for those things first because they will take your sorry butt out. And I really do like this game's combat system because hanging off of these ledges is it's nice. It gives you a nice versatility to combat. I'm failing there. Okay. I haven't watched this in a while. I recorded this several weeks ago and I don't remember how I played this. I think I did alright. There you go. That's what you want to do. Whenever in this game, it does reward you for doing different kind of like tricks. I don't know if you noticed, but I think I might have gotten like a sticky bomb one already. It's when you take, actually no, I don't have the grenades yet. But in like a later part, we'll be getting like electric grenades, and you can like throw it on a guy and like stick it to him. I think it's called like, I think it's called like stick it to the man or something like that. It might be something like that, or sticky bomb. I forget the name of it, but you get like a lot of extra experience points for doing various tricks instead of just shocking the dude to death. Like if you shockwave him and then shock him in midair and that shock kills him, you get like I believe it's like 7 points of experience. Or if you're like grinding on a grind rail, you jump off, shock the guy in the head, you get like a point for the headshot, a couple of points for the kill, and a couple like 14 points for doing the aerial kill. And you can get some points for like thunder dropping guys. So if you're really trying to rack up the experience points, you can do that from combat alone if you get really good at it. And it's very possible to get pretty good at this game because the controls in this game are excellent. It really is. It's a wonderfully controlling game. It feels very good, very fluid. Anyway, regarding my guest commentator, I am hoping that he'll be joining me on some more parts of this, because I really do like the dynamic that we had going on in part 1. Of course, you know, fixing the audio quality is always a issue when you're trying to do it over Skype. God, Skype is a wonderful thing. I love it, but I effing hate it at the same time. It works so selectively. But anyway, at the end of this bridge, machine gun fire. Pretty much the government's so determined to quarantine off the city, they're willing to murder these civilians that they're supposed to be, like... Yeah, I mean, ideally they should be helping these people out, but no. You should kill them all, I guess it's more convenient. And we get introduced to a character who's very important to the story, Moya.
I was greeted by name.
She gives you all your missions, so that's why she's important.
Footage of me at Ground Zero and came here to wait, figuring I'd try to escape, knowing I'd have powers. She explained that before the blast, her husband John had been assigned to infiltrate the First
And these groups called the First Sons, they're very important to the story in the latter half of the game, but I won't get into spoilers right now.
energy from a group of people and
This is kind of nice. I do like the cutscenes in this game because this is very concisely explaining the story. It's not going on for like 30-minute cutscenes. Some video games have cutscenes that are way too long. This game has like a couple-minute cutscenes and explains so much with so very little words. It's really nice.
And she'll get me out of the quarantine and clear my name. This whole Ray Spear thing.
Also, it's interesting. I'm just realizing this. Cole does not sound so like as gravelly as he does later in the game. His voice, like, oh my god, he gets so gravelly by the end of this playthrough. It's freaking insane. Anyway, now we just have to do some platforming underneath the bridge. This is actually pretty fun. It introduces you to it basically teaches the player how to like platform very precisely. And I like how like it's not like the way this game teaches you how to play is very nice because it kind of introduces different elements one at a time in a very timely manner, so it doesn't overwhelm you, but at the same time, you're not bored. Because when I was going to have to play this game, I played it several times in the past, of course, but I wasn't bored with the beginning of the game. It's still as exciting as ever, and the way that the progression plays out in the game, in terms of gameplay, is very, very satisfying. Because you're slowly introduced to new powers, even, like, when you're on, like, the second-to-last mission, you get, like, a very potent ability. I won't spoil that. I'll save that for when we get there. But it is very nice. Pretty much when you're playing this game, you always have something to look forward to. So, his platforming is actually not as difficult as it looks, because the game, Cole gravitates, I think I mentioned this in the last part, Cole gravitates to whatever object is nearby him. Oh, be careful of these steam pipes right here, they will kill you in like 3 seconds. Like, like right there. Be very careful. Yeah, I think the as far as upgrades for this game, I am playing this game on the hardest difficulty setting, which is, you know, hard mode. So I would recommend, well, first of all, if this is your first time playing Infamous, don't play it on hard. Get used to the combat first. If the game actually does this cool thing. If you start on hard mode, or excuse me, if you start on normal mode and you do extremely well, the game will actually promote you to hard mode. It's actually very satisfying, because that's how I never played this game. Like, I played this game several times, came back to play it again, like, a couple years ago, and it promoted me to hard mode, and it was like, you're doing so well. It was funny. It was very strangely satisfying. Almost to the end of this bridge here. The way, I guess the way I'll be running, like, the rest of this playthrough, so far, I've recorded, like, up to, like, part 8 or 9, just haven't uploaded or commentated over them yet. I will not be showing off too much on the way side missions. I probably will show off some of the good side missions, if I decide to, but mainly this will be, like, a main story playthrough. I will be collecting blast shards off screen. This is an important gameplay element. If you look at the top left of the screen of the HUD, you will see all those nodes there that are connected by lines. That's your energy. So every time, like, the normal shock thing that Cole does not consume energy. In this game, at least, in Infamous 2, they changed that. But anyway, all your other abilities, like Shockwave, or, not Thunder Dropping. If you use a Shockwave, if you use a electric shock grenade, if you use rockets, if you use, like, lightning storms, and there's other abilities that you get, it will consume that energy, and you will have to absorb it from various things in the city, like cars, electric poles. Actually, the electric drain ability is actually kind of cool because you can upgrade it as you get further in the game. So basically what you can do is you can upgrade it so that you absorb electricity faster, and you absorb it while you're actually grinding on rails. Oh, I love these quotes they put here. You want to test a man's character, give him power. So true.
Electric energy. Oh, I knew it! All the stuff I've been saying, every word is true. Government's in cahoots with a secret organization, the Ray Sphere. Damn, it all makes sense now. Calm down.
I forgot which missions. I think this is the trying to think. I think in this part I will be doing some of the main missions are basically introducing you to different side mission types, which is why I'm not showing off a bunch of the side missions. Because basically the side missions boil down to there's these counter surveillance missions where you go around the building. You have like some lady or dude, he's like, oh my god, the government's spying on us or something like that or whatever. And you go and destroy all the security cameras in the building. The side missions yield you 100 points of experience, or 100 experience points. And you get additional points for combat and stuff like that. And the normal side missions that are not like karma based usually don't affect your karma at all, unless you're like going on like a rampage in good mode and you're like, oh, I'm going to kill all the civilians in my way. Then yeah, you'll get some negative karma, but it doesn't really affect it that much. And the other side missions, you get good and evil ones. Every time you do a good side mission, the corresponding evil side mission will lock, and you cannot do it. So bear that in mind when you're doing these missions. Yep, I'm doing the damage reduction. A hard mode, go for damage reduction, for the love of God. do not try to play this game. Do not try to get to the Sasha boss fight and not have all your damage upgrades ready. Sasha's not too hard, but I mean, getting up to there, like, you're gonna fight a lot of guys with RPGs, the machine guns. So there's this really annoying submachine gun enemy that can just, like, he wrecks you. You can have full health, be down to like 40% in a few seconds. It's pretty tough. So yeah, damage upgrade. You really want the damage reduction. You really want that. Oh, also, these missions right here. This is where we're introduced to the satellite. The satellite communication things. You basically, when you press in the L3 trigger, Cole will release like this little shock of electricity, and on the HUD on the bottom right, you see it right there. On the HUD on the bottom right, you will see things light up. You'll see electric sources. You will see blast shards. Blast shards appear as blue dots, and you will also see like that really weird circle thing that came up, and it was like an oval, and like it starts out at the edge of the mini-map, and as you get closer to a satellite link, it'll get smaller and smaller and smaller. And when you get to these satellite links, you can collect data from it, and the data is just audio recordings, often fleshing out the story. Looks like a great deal. Like, if you go into them, you'll get stuff with there's a character named Kessler we'll be meeting within the next few parts. There's a very important character named John. He's very important in Infamous 1 and especially in Infamous 2. And you get to listen to all the audio recordings of like what he was doing, what he's investigating. I won't be showing all of those off, but I mean, I'm sure you can probably go find those on the wiki if you want to read them. But I will be showing some of them off. I won't be blast shard hunting. I've been doing that in between missions while I'm waiting for videos to process. Go blast shard hunting. When you're playing on hard mode, you need to collect blast shards. Blast shards are your best friend. The more energy you have, the more I mean, obviously, you'll be able to use more of your powers, and you don't have to worry about absorbing electricity as often. Also, the electric upgrade's also another good one. You want to drain electricity as fast as possible, so, be wary. And I do recommend, if you are doing a playthrough of this game on your own, just because you feel like it, I would say tackle some of the side missions, because the side missions will actually, I think I'll show off a side mission in a couple parts later, but each side mission, you reclaim a part of the city back from the Reapers, or the Dustmen, or the First Sons, depending on which district that you're in. I think there's 3 districts in this game, and what that does is it takes away all the enemies, so you can explore the city without getting your butt shut off. I mean, seriously, these guys will shoot your dick off. It's ridiculous. And I will be, the blast shards that are in my way, I will be grabbing those, of course. I'm like a semi-kleptomaniac, so that's going to be a force of habit. I can't help it. I can't wait. Later, in another couple parts, we get a nice ability. It's a sniping ability. You can zoom in, get headshots on guys. It consumes a crap ton of electricity. But it's a very useful ability. Like, every single ability in this game is useful and potent in some way. There's literally nothing that's useless in this game as far as your combat abilities. It's a very, very tightly designed and well thought out gameplay system. It really is nice. But right now, you're probably like, it looks okay. Just wait till I get the freaking shock grenades and start upgrading that, because when you play like evil mode, actually another good thing to talk about, I guess, would be the karma system. The good difference between good and evil mode. In good mode, your powers become more focused. Like, they're not very wild. It's very controlled. It's very precise, very set, like, on the enemies, making sure that you don't hurt civilians. Evil mode, oh my god, explosions everywhere. Your lightning turns blood red. It actually looks pretty freaking sweet. And Cole actually starts looking sickly, like he's contracted some sort of venereal disease or something. I don't know, but he looks very sickly, and it's a reflection of the karma system. And the cool thing about this game's karma system also is that if you decide to be evil, the city will look like crap. There's gonna be garbage everywhere. The skyline will turn like blood red and stuff like that. I believe anyway. It does affect the way the city looks. When you play on good, everything starts looking a lot better. It starts looking like, well, not like heaven, but you know, better than like the city does look like now with all the garbage everywhere. So this game really, like the karma system, it's black and white, yes, but at the same time it works extremely well. Like it's playing this game through twice is definitely worth your time, even narratively, because it does affect character dynamics. Like the relationship between Zeke and Cole is affected, between Trish, well, F Trish, I hate her, but yeah, your relationship with her is affected. It doesn't change the way I feel about Trish, because I hate her with a burning passion. Ugh.
You understand any of that? I don't believe it.
Yeah, this is where they introduce Kessler, and John is like, oh crap, I'm about to get caught. The Dead Drops, that's what they're called. Forgot the name. Oh, I know this is off topic, but just because I finished my Mirror's Edge playthrough recently, they were showing off gameplay of Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and it looks freaking awesome. Oh my god, I was in ecstasy while watching that trailer. It was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Thank God for that Gamescom gameplay reveal with that. That looked awesome. Yeah, the traversal is a bit slow at the moment. When we get the grinding ability, it gets a lot better. I don't remember if it's this part. I think it's the next part. In the next part, we will be introduced to the sewer levels. And I can't wait to talk about those, because this game actually has some pretty freaking awesome sewer levels. In terms of like how they introduce you to new gameplay elements. They do an excellent job of that. And they actually look visually like very, very good, because of the lighting in this game is actually pretty dang good. I mean, I know this game's aged visually, but the animation for this game is actually still fantastic. And actually, it's funny, because when I came back to this game, I thought I would have a hard time getting back into it. Nope. Not at all. Yeah, head shock. It actually takes a fair amount of skill to actually pull off like head shocks. Oh yeah, that reminds me. When you upgrade like his basic shock ability, it's really cool, because what you do is like when you get a head shock at like level 2, the Guardian level for the karma ranking for it. Oh, here we go. I'm about to actually get a blast core right here. You're about to see the upgrade. Come on. What am I doing? Pass me. What are you doing? There you go. Yep, you can see it add a new blast core. I think that's what yeah, battery core is what they call it on there. Blast cores are from Infamous 2. Anyway, with the thing I was talking about with the head shocks, it'll actually chain the electricity to other surrounding enemies and knock them out. And it's pretty cool, because anything metallic in this game you can electrically charge it, and it can damage enemies if it is strong enough. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I have gone over the time for the part, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next part.